Away from politics, government has shut down a push by some civil society groups for the adoption of organic farming as the main agricultural policy, insisting it will lead to food insecurity. The Peasant Farmers Association and Food Sovereignty Ghana have been spearheading the adoption of agroecological methods of farming, which discourage the use of chemical pesticides and fertilizers. Edwin, Baffour, Andoh of Food Sovereignty Ghana says agroecological methods of farming is the future of agriculture and government must prioritize it.
Applying dangerous chemicals like glyphosate-based chemicals, which are now carcinogenic, as declared by the International Cancer Research Agency, the long-term cost is much more expensive than you thinking that, as she's saying, we can go side by side. That is why the markets in Europe are continuing to respond to a growing organic market, and we feel that Ghana, being an agrarian-based society, we should rather position the future so that Ghanaian farmers can feed into this growing demand. And so the position that other people should be investing in, unfortunately, the most money is on the side of the pro-GMO side. You know, so a civil society organization like Food Sovereignty Ghana is not going to have all the pickups and not all the money to fly around the world and all that, like some people assume. We're a very small organization, but we've maintained our position. And through our work, we've been able to engage stakeholders like the Christian Council of Ghana, the Ghana Muslim Mission, the Office of the Chief Imam, the Rastafarian Council of Ghana, GAU, the General Agricultural Workers Union, as well as the Peasant Farmers and the whole Socialist Forum. So this constituency cannot be so misled by the way future.
Do you genuinely think using agroecological methods will be able to feed the 30 million people in Ghana, the 7 billion people across the world in a sustainable manner?
Thank you very much for that question, because you see, the reality about food and hunger on the planet is about the politics of food distribution. That is why you have land lakes and food mountains in certain countries, and then you have poverty in other countries. It's about the politics of where food goes. Ghana grows enough food. We just spoke here about how 40% of our harvest every year perishes. So we grow enough food. It's about the politics of where food ends up.
So there's no need for further efforts to increase agricultural productivity?
So agricultural productivity must increase, but not at the cost of the future sustainability, the soil fertility, the loss of species. This is the true and long-term costs that we're going to incur if we don't go agroecology.
Will agroecology make that difference in terms of improving food productivity, for example? Because the experts are envisaging that there will be less food, there will be more hunger.
No. This is the political position about the population is rising. Like I said, we have arable lands that are not being used. We only use 3% of our arable land under irrigation. Imagine if we doubled that to 6% and tripled it to 9%. We wouldn't be talking about the need to genetically modify our foods, because we already have enough food that rots 40% every season.
Now, Dr. Irene Egyir of the University of Ghana's Department of Agricultural Economics says it is a backward method of farming.
It's slow, and it is expensive.
So the way you do fruits?
Go to the shops now. I do organic agriculture in my backyard. That's what I do. But it's expensive. You get me? I spend so much time managing, making sure that the pests will not come up. And when they come up, they ought to be removed. And it's slow. Making sure that the soil will be well set. Do you get me? It takes time and effort. And therefore, if you say you are depending on it for a nation, for the world, 7 billion mouths, we have moved from there. In the agricultural progression, that was the frontier and conservation model. This was in the 17th century. So we can depend on it as a niche, but not to be adopted as the only option.
You get the sense that's where they are taking us back to.
That is
17th century instead of progressing.
I believe,
agriculture.
Saying that everything should be Ghana's own seed, Ghana's own soil, Ghana's own water, Ghana's own everything. It may not be possible, because in the Emirates own water was not possible. They import soil, they import water. Do you get me? And they have moved forward. So if you sit and your own is slow moving, and yet you are not controlling population. In Ghana, we don't control population. So soon, when I was born, we were 6 million. Now we are 30 million. We don't control population. I'm not 60 years. 2 generations have not come, but we have tripled. Do you get me? And the mouths are becoming a lot. And therefore, for me, it is not possible. Parallel, yes. Let's push it. And those who are pushing it should invest in it. My problem is that those of us pushing the agroecology and the sovereignty issues, we are the people who don't invest in it. And we are only crying and saying, Monsanto is investing in this. Bill and Melinda Gates. You two go and invest in what you want. We don't. They don't even have input shops. That's what bled my heart. In the last 10 years, I've been working on organic. The people preaching organic are not even having input shops. They have used their money to buy BMW like me. And you are talking about what? Organic, agroecological. Somebody should invest in the inputs.
Now, government has settled the issue. Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture, Dr. Sagre Bambagni, says the push for organic agriculture will endanger the nation's food security. He is calling for a balance.
I say agroecology is good, but I'm saying that we have to combine it with other methods if we have to be food secure. Because the agroecology is good, but we have to reserve it for some lands and for some portions of the country and for those who can also do it. But there are others who also use different methods, like total mechanization, so that they can produce more food. Because don't forget, whilst we are addressing environmental challenges, whilst we are addressing food sovereignty challenges, we must also not lose sight of the fact that we have to address immediate food security needs of the people. Because once we are food insecure, diseases can easily set in. Once we are food insecure, there can be war and there will not be peace. And you will not even have a good and peaceful country for you to think about planning for the future. So we have to create a very, very good balance between these ideals that we are talking about and the production of food to satisfy the immediate needs of the teeming population.
So that you think that if we decide to go agroecology 100% now, we will not be able to feed ourselves sustainably? Is that the concern?
Even currently, don't we import some food produce? We import. So I don't need to even answer your question. You know, your question is already answered. So we have to be strategic. And as a country, that's what I'm saying. If farmers who want to practice agroecology, they practice. There's no problem about that. Nobody can sit on anybody's right. Anybody who wants to use his own seeds can use his own seeds. But we are also sensitizing farmers to understand that some seeds produce more yields than other seeds.
Now, on World AIDS Day each year, we are reminded of the tremendous progress that has been made and the challenges that remain. The Sampa Government Hospital in the Jamai North District of the Bono region, which was on top of the HIV prevalence list in 2019, has been given $30,000 worth of medical equipment to help minimize the increasing number of infections there. Olam Ghana, a